I know.
I mean, it's just like you can't just look up your team schedule. You got to listen to some stupid song, some stupid commercial.
Got to make that
every
money.
time.
Tom, the worst thing about it is you know that's going to happen. So be quiet.
Yeah. Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
He's always here to help, isn't he?
He always here to help.
He's always here to help. All right, now let's try the ACC. Still one team ranked to the Duke Blue Devils, who are in third in the ACC. So, well, I guess I'll just pull the rankings up. Did I?
They've been the ones have not stayed long.
Gonzaga, UCLA.
Well, there you go.
Auburn.
Gonzaga be back up there.
USC, Duke, Purdue, Michigan.
Duke won't. They got beat.
Is there a
this
best
week.
team in the nation, Terry? That you feel?
I think there's probably 10 that could have
God,
a chance to win. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they
so
are
no,
now.
so no,
yeah.
yeah.
There's probably 10.
Okay. Well, that's good, isn't it?
For the NCAA tournament, it is.
Right. It'd be a good tournament because you don't know who's going to win.
Was it Miami that beat Duke this week?
They
It was
did
Miami,
last
and they how they not getting the rankings if they're top in the ACC and you beat
beat
Duke?
They beat
Because
Duke.
they end up turning around and losing the very next game.
So
That's what happens. I mean, if State beats Duke today, they'll lose the next one.
They got at least
That's
be in,
just how
at
it
least be in the top 25.
But see, that's the college football thing that I don't like about it because it's about your names. What Terry just said, you can beat Duke and it don't matter. Like Texas A&M can beat Duke and it don't matter. Oklahoma State win the championship, but it don't matter. It's, but you lost to these guys. But you lost to them. That's why you're not
Just
ranked.
don't lose.
Miami is 29th in the voting right now. They're first in the ACC and beat Duke, who's 8th.
And they've got 4 losses. Look how many of the 25 teams have got.
If I'd have told y'all
4 losses.
even 5 years ago or 10 years ago,
Villanova's 11 and
15 years ago,
4.
Terry, there's only one ACC team, and just out of, and I think
Not in basketball.
Surely-
If you'd have said football, yeah, I'd have believed you.
Alabama's 11 and 4.
Villanova's 11 and 4 and is the 14th.
That's Novazak. That's why they're on KTC, featured against Marquette next week.
Yeah, Ohio State will probably drop down a little bit after Wisconsin. They tried to go to Wisconsin, and I tell you what, it's just hard to beat them in their building. That's what I talk about conference teams on the road, man. That's why Krzyzewski, as we talked about, doesn't play on the road. You get to some of these teams play on the
Beat the Georgia Bulldogs. UNC Asheville's in that conference too. Big Ten, Tommy, y'all got 5 in that conference. Illinois, Michigan, Michigan State, Michigan, Illinois, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Purdue.
Illinois is 25th. I mean, they've got a good program. I mean, it's tough.
Well, there you go.
Tough to win on the road.
Talking about rankings, Zach, and where teams are. Illinois 6-0 in the conference, 13-3 overall, and they're the least ranked of all the teams that are there. So Miami and the Illinois getting no respect from the voters.
It doesn't matter as much in basketball though because
We did.
Then he put his money into the Alabama pick. So
I didn't know that two Alabama's star wide receivers are going to get hurt. That kind of hurt them, and then I knew when Georgia got the touchdown in the third quarter, it was over. Because Alabama had the long drive and got the field goal blocked. I said, that's the momentum changer right there, and it did.
And Georgia didn't. I mean, they bend a little bit, and they didn't ever give up the touchdown. So
yeah, and once those two receivers went down, their defense dominated in that second half. Yeah, it really first half 9-6. Who's ever heard of a 9-6? That was like
when it was 9-6. I honestly thought Bama would hold it through the rest of the game, but.
Well, but here we are again on my end. You got a non-champion that won a national title.
Yeah.
Couldn't win your season title, and then all of a sudden you get in, and then how can I say they're better than Oklahoma State? How can I say they're better than Pittsburgh? I mean, you'll never know. They probably would beat them if they did. Yeah. I guess that's just a hearsay. But
in NFL, we have wild cards. We have wild card teams wins because a hot team that maybe had an injury earlier in the year, now they can beat you. Now they're not automatically eliminated. And I know these coaches at the top like stacking the deck. They like getting all the 5 stars, and nobody else can challenge them because the playoffs are so small. But I think it's better for the game in general to expand it to 8.
I did not know the status.
I'm
sure Georgia and Alabama's 1-2.
I did love the first half. I mean, it was total defense. Both teams combined was less than 20 yards rushing.
Yeah. Terry likes a good boring game.
Yeah.
Nobody else does. Everybody else went to sleep during the first half except Terry. I'm enjoying watching these 3-yard loss on first
Yes.
down. That's exciting.
That's what the NFL's won by, Tom. Defense.
Yeah, but
You go.
we're not talking about winning. We're talking about entertainment value for the fan who doesn't really have a dog in the fight. It's like, I don't really care who wins this game. I just want to see a good game. All right, there's a 3-yard loss. There's an incomplete pass. There's a punt. That'll keep you on the edge of your seat, Terry.
It will.
Yeah.
On that list next year. Ranked number 8 in the top 10.
In the nation?
Yes.
Uh-oh, let's hear it. He don't know what to do. He wasn't ready for that. Look,
I should have let you swallow.
He's not ready for that.
Right there
Look,
it is.
he's breakfast. Terry, half of the day, you're not going to be here the last 30 minutes. In the first 30
You just
you're
made my
spending
day,
eating
Zach.
breakfast. Look at that, Tommy still eating.
Well, here's the big
8:30.
deal about it. They're returning 8.
Yeah.
They're returning 8 offensive and 10 defensive starters.
Yeah.
That has a huge impact on.
And plus, the best thing, your quarterback's coming back. He's not eligible to leave yet. He can next year.
The fun thing is Clemson is ranked down at 11. So,
Where's Carolina?
rounding out the.
Basically, I broke the country down into 8 conferences. So this is going to be your playoff system. You want to take 1 or 2, I don't care from that, but this is going to be your 8 conferences. I broke them down into regions, keep them people as close as I could. Some rivalries together, teams like that. You guys have the master copy. The folks online are seeing the conferences scroll through. We're going to talk about each one of them. Let's go next then. Southwest, Terry.
Arkansas, Baylor, Houston, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Christian, Texas El Paso, Texas Tech, and Tulsa.
That'd be fun out there as your Big 12.
Basically a Texas conference.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'll leave the last 2 for Tom. I didn't know what to name this one. I'll let Tom see if he can help. I named it the Mid-South for right now. And Zach, read off the teams in the Mid-South.
Kentucky Liberty, Louisville Marshall, Maryland Memphis, Tennessee Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, Western Kentucky, and West Virginia.
So it's the states of Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia, those major schools there. And I like I said, I didn't know what to name them. I can't name them the Appalachians because Appalachians in the Carolina Conference. So I'd had to put them in there with them, I guess, if I didn't know.
They're D1, they're a bowl, they're BCSD.
I'll let you take someone out then, Tom.
What's that?
Back. I'll let you look at the
Division
list.
1,
Who you
whatever.
want to take out? If you want to put Jackson State in, take somebody out. Don't yell at me. You take somebody out.
Of the Gulf Coast Conference?
Yeah. Take out Florida State.
Troy.
Yeah,
You're
I
taking
put
Troy out.
Troy.
Troy doesn't
We'll
make the cut.
put Deion Tech in
I
there.
think they were ranked this year, weren't they?
They were at one time. Troy, they've got
Gotta
to
make listen. It's about ratings.
They actually Troy does have a good football.
Like commercial
You know what?
about the Ducks.
I'm just glad.
That's
I'm just glad
That's
that
the
Nick
one.
Saban is an incredible recruiting talent because if he had to rely on his acting skills, he would starve to death.
Oh,
He's terrible.
He's about to not have fun in this name, image, likeness era and retire soon.
If he would still be in
that'd
the
be
NFL, he would be starving to death.
Oh yeah.
Southeast, Zach, I'll let you read this one. I didn't know what to call this one.
Southeast.
We could
Where
call
we
it the
at?
Atlantic.
Okay, so this is the ACC area.
Yep.
The
Appalachian
old
State,
ACC area.
Charlotte, Clemson, Coastal Carolina, Duke, East Carolina, Georgia, Georgia Tech, North Carolina State, South Carolina, and Wake Forest.
So this conference would feature the defending national champions. It would feature the number 8 ranked team in the nation, the NC State Wolfpack. The most successful team in the Carolinas, the Appalachian State Mountaineers. You've got the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Wake Forest, the most successful North Carolina ACC team in the last 40 years, however you want to justify it, Wake Forest has been, except for Georgia Tech, obviously, in their national championship 90. Let's see. Georgia Tech's not in North Carolina, is there?
Well, a lot of people, as soon as they'd look at this, they'd go, well, it's Clemson or Georgia.
Okay. Every conference is like that.
Yeah, that's
isn't
how
it?
they'd say
No?
here. They'd be like the other
Except for
ones
next
might
year with
compete.
NC State.
Well,
Terry, how do they do the ACC
Don't
now?
forget.
Conferences, San Jose, Nevada, Idaho, Illinois, New Mexico State. I mean, not Illinois, Northern Illinois. Do they belong in one of those conferences, Tom, there? Ball State, UTEP, SMU, Texas State, Rice, Arkansas State, Ohio, Memphis, UAB, Troy, Georgia Southern, Bowling Green, Louisiana Tech, Akron, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Toledo, Temple, Georgia State, ECU, and Northern schools. I don't know. I was stumped when I got here, so that's what I was asking you on.
There's a lot of teams you threw out at us.
Well, right. Well, most of these, you remember, this is North and Central, so you've got Eastern, Central, and Western Michigan. You got Toledo, Akron, Bowling Green, Ohio, Ball State. I'm just looking at teams. Just that is that all Ohio there? Do y'all want y'all's own conference?
Ohio conference.
I can make an Ohio Michigan conference and then move everybody else into the North in one conference. Could be a suggestion. So how many teams would be in Ohio Michigan conference? So,
that'd be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What about
eight
Kent
or nine?
State, the Fighting Trent Martys? We can put them in the.
Well, that's what I was asking. I'm not familiar enough with these teams to be like, I know the difference between Appalachia and East Carolina. I do not know the difference between Bowling Green and Kent State.
There's not a whole lot. Kent's had some pretty good years. They've been at the top of their conference.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess anybody else you stick in there. I mean, I'd love for you to stick Kent State in the North because we need that one game where you don't have to prep as hard. You know, you can sort of have a week where you just.
I get criticized, Terry, and ask him a real question. Help me out with the teams, and then we get that. Sorry, Trent.
It's hard. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Trent.
I can't break down Bowling Green and Kent State's program.
Well, one of the Michigans
on a moment's notice. I mean, I wish I could, but I'll not claim that I can. But.
All right, Terry. What do you think about splitting them up into better regions or more close regions that help with travel? Anything? Listen, these conferences only have one or two good teams anyway, for the most part. So if we go to that argument, whatever, you'd still have you got Alabama, Georgia. Think about the conference championship games. Let's just do that. Go through that. So in the Central, who would be your conference championship in this one, Tom? If you were picking
in the Central,
Notre Dame. Versus Wisconsin?
Notre Dame. No, see, Wisconsin's not consistent enough.
I'm just talking about this year. Who's this year?
This year?
Aren't they? Terry.
They're not.
They are.
Terry.
I'm going to tell you what, they're probably third in wins.
I'm talking this year. They weren't very consistent.
Well, I'm just saying over the last 15 years, they probably the third
he said
in
this
wins.
year, not over the last 15 years, Terry. I would say Iowa, Notre Dame.
Okay. So let's go that one. Gulf Coast, you'd have Alabama, LSU in that championship. Maybe not this year. I don't know who played best. Louisiana, is that the next best team?
Yeah.
Mississippi. It'd be Alabama, Mississippi, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't Lane Kiffin finish in the top 10?
Yeah, they won't. Yeah, they had a good quarterback.
So you'd have them wrong. It wasn't this year. Who finished the highest rank this year? Was it Coastal or App? Did App crack the top 10? Anybody else? Any of those get? Oh, Wake. It'd be Georgia and Wake Forest. Got all the way down to the bottom there. So
I'd love to
would
see
be
Clemson have to play Coastal every year now. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun game. That would. Down in Myrtle Beach. That'd be fun.
In the Southwest Bowl, you'd have Oklahoma State versus Texas A&M. Right? Would that be a good game? No, would it be a good game? Did I miss anything on that?
See, here's your big deal, and everybody knows this. It would be like Clemson going to Coastal. I mean, you got, 78,000 that can go in Clemson?
We'll do NFL and bad picks and more coming up on ktcbroadcasting.com. Well, welcome back there, JP. I guess you were playing commercials. We could hear them down the hall, but we couldn't hear the commercials in here, but we could hear you talk. We'll figure that out. That means you did not. There is a button in there that was not pressed. We'll figure that out in a minute. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. It's time for our bad pick segment where we show everybody. We're the only sports show I know that reviews how bad of picks we made. Everybody else pontificates and sticks their chest out.
You know what we did last week?
What did we do?
Everybody in here went 9-7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Across the board. We also picked straight across the board, and we're going to see this. 4 teams that we said would win, and they all lost.
Yeah, we're terrible.
Well, how about Jacksonville, a 14.5-point
goodness.
underdog? I tell you what, Frank, I talked about how great Frank Reich was and the job he did. But after seeing that, if the Dolphins coach got the axe, which I heard that one was really about not so much job performance, but what we're going
Ready to play?
They got blown out. Blown out.
Were they playing at home?
No.
They were not
They
playing
were
at
on
home.
the road.
I mean, I understand
Still.
that part. And Jacksonville's going to go out because all them guys know this is determined whether we're going to play next year.
Yeah.
You know.
It's funny to think about, too, the Los Angeles Chargers not making the playoffs. Man.
I'm going to tell you something else that's really funny. And Kevin and me will probably agree with this. Sometimes people talk, and Kevin talks about stuff being rigged. You couldn't have asked for anything else to come down to the last 14 seconds of the season of whether you're in or you're out.
Now, what if you were the Raiders? What if you were the Steelers? Because if that game ties,
That's what I'm saying.
Did you see the Steelers
if that game
fan?
ties,
Did you see the Steelers fan?
Steelers
Yeah.
don't get in.
Sure
If
was.
the
There's a
game,
guy in the stands. You see the
Pittsburgh closed
Where
on.
Pittsburgh closed on his hands
Yeah.
up. Just
Yeah.
oh, they got him.
Yeah, I didn't see
Sure
it.
was. A Pittsburgh stand. The
Wow.
Steeler fan was
I ain't tell you
there.
something.
Wow.
I mean, how many times do we see a tie? Number one, if it would have tied and threw the Steelers out,
I mean, sometimes, guys, and I sat there and I was like, this is rigged. There's no way you can go to another game on your season and it come down to the last 14 seconds.
in overtime
Yes.
with a
That's-
bad
I
call,
mean,
with a bad call on
Unreal.
time management, calling a timeout, everything that went on in that. I text Kevin earlier, even before that game went in overtime with the Steeler game. I said, "This is rigged." To get
Man.
Big Ben in the playoffs.
Well, I don't know why they would care that much, but I don't know. Maybe they do. Does he get better ratings? I guess than the
It's the send off.
than the. I don't know. I
Tom, can you put your phone in the cubby hole
Yeah,
and turn it off?
I will. I will. I will do that.
You're tossed. That's twice.
This is rigged. He couldn't have wore his shirt on the right day today.
I'm
right?
telling you.
The conspiracy theorist. He had somebody not make it, so he had to be the referee.
I'm trying to find
To
this,
wear his stuff.
I'm trying to find this stupid Steelers fan. I don't know why it's not all over the internet of him. This guy,
But it
He
was one guy.
Yeah,
There.
Steelers fan.
In his Steelers outfit and the whole yards, and he was up there pointing his hands like, "What are we doing?"
What game was it? Again?
The Raiders and the Chargers.
Raiders, Chargers.
Chargers Steeler fan. That's all you'd have to pull up. It should show him. It was fantastic because when I saw it, I was like, "You are kidding me!" This guy bought a ticket to be at this game knowing-
with the Steelers jersey.
That's what
on.
I'm saying. Now, when did he buy this ticket?
Yes, well, I don't know. Yeah, he had it the day before, didn't he?
Or did he? Or did he get it outside to get in?
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. I do not know neither.
I
I
thought
would have
this was
had to
gonna be-
have an interview with him.
I thought this was going to be easy to find, but it's not, obviously. But anyway, I guess we'll not worry about that. I want to talk about the coach and the most moronic coaching decision I may have ever seen. Why did he call timeout?
They can't figure it out.
Why
I
did
mean, he said
why
he
did
wanted to
call
get his.
timeout?
He said himself he wanted to get his defense set because I think he said they're going to run the ball. They knew they're going to run the ball.
But they also said,
But you wanted him to run the ball.
yeah,
exactly.
and they did on the carry. He says the carry made the difference in us calling a timeout to set up the winning field goal.
Oh, you talking about the winning? I'm talking
Yeah,
about the losing coach.
Oh, well, who knows?
Talk about the one
That
that called
was
the
at the end of
timeout.
the-
Yeah,
Yeah, to
I
get
don't
him.
know.
The Chargers coach nobody pay. That's what nobody pays attention at all to some of this stuff. Like you said, talk about McNabb not even knowing you could have ties when he played. There was somebody else like last year, or the year before that did the same thing. I don't know. To me, that has to be the most fireable offense of any of them. Is that he literally lost the game by calling timeout? Like I don't get why. Either he, like Zach said, he didn't think he could tie. He thought he could win in overtime. But again, if the clock just runs out, I'm in the playoffs. That's all it was. And you said you just talk about him setting up a run defense. Still, you don't. He's just so stupid. I can't imagine how stupid that was. This is the Super Bowl Eliminator Power Poll. This one is not of my opinion this week. I re-ranked them this time by total offense and defense added together. Defense getting the tiebreaker on any ties. And so we've now gotten to the point of 14 teams left in the season. I've got them ranked here based on offensive, defense. And, you talk about that Raiders-Chargers game. We talked about it the week before. I cannot believe the Chargers blew that in general, even lost the game to the Raiders, much less had to tie them and then didn't tie them because the coach is an idiot. So maybe that's why they're not in the playoffs, Zach, is the coach is not I don't know, the game management skills. It's like they didn't play any Madden or anything growing up. I don't think any video. They didn't play Tecmo Bowl. Terry, you want to talk about your sheet here? You're still eating.
Oh, yeah?
It's 9 o'clock.
He's loaded his liver mush down with jelly.
I'm just taking my time.
That's his dessert.
Every time I go to him, I'm like, well, he's about to say something. I don't want to interrupt the bite you're having over there.
You make it last.
God.
Why swallow it all whole? And then
He's
I'll
got to
say
go
something.
run the.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
that's
going
why
to-
I'm taking my
He's
time.
going to fart all over the kids on the basketball court today.
He had his biggest breakfast on the morning. He's going to be.
He's going to be running up that court.
All right. Anyway, total wins in NFL for the last 11 years. New England, we knew that they would be out front on account of Tom Brady and all being there for 128. But everybody talks, and this is how people say Dallas is so bad. Dallas is 8th in total wins. So that just means everybody below them, that we might have want to talk to. But the reason I did this is for one reason. We talk about Big Ben. We talk about how a quarterback means a lot, and it does. New England, when they had Tom Brady, like I said, 128 wins. Green Bay comes next with Aaron Rodgers, 118. Seattle, Russell Wilson with 112. Kansas City, Alex Smith to Mahomes with 112. Pittsburgh with Ben with 111. New Orleans with Drew Brees with 110. Baltimore at 105, and then Dallas comes in next at 98. And everybody else is below that. And the bottom 5 of this poll was the Giants, the football team, the New York Jets, Cleveland, and Jacksonville. And I guess a lot of people would say, well, Dallas won a lot of their games, and they probably did against the Giants and the Jets. Not the football team. But out of 10 of the 11 seasons with 10 wins or more, New England, Green Bay, Seattle, and Kansas City, 8 of 11 seasons with 10 wins. The Giants were the least with one 10-win season. Teams with only 10-win seasons with the Giants were the football team, the Jets, the Browns, and the Jaguars. And I put their 10-win seasons down. The Giants come in 2016 with 11. The football team in 2012 with 10. The Jets with 2015 had 10 wins. There for a long time. Produces big wins if you can keep him.
All right, so Terry, a couple of notes that I just noticed looking over 3 years. I wanted to go back. You had 2011. I want to go back just one more year. No, 2 more years before that to include what my stat, or 3 actually, with that one. Minnesota. Look at AFC Championship game. So looking at this, these are regular season numbers, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that I did get that right. Let's see. Every team on the left side of the top of your list, how many teams is that? About 10?
14.
14 on the left. Then on the right side, 15 Arizona, 16 LA, 17 Atlanta, then skip Cincinnati, 18-19. So 19 of the 20 teams, not counting Dallas, so 18 of the 20 teams have all made an AFC or NFC championship game except the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals.
There you go.
And I've known that. And I've the regular season, that's just Jerry Jones, and then we get in the playoffs and it's over. It's over quick.
Well, Jerry Jones come out this past week and even come right out and say it's either Super Bowl championship or bust.
I take that back. Buffalo has not. So 17 of those top 20 teams and wins have all been to an AFC or NFC championship. That's what I'm saying. That's not even been to 2-2 as well.
If you total them up, it's not but 38.
I know. That's what I was about to get.
Yeah.
There's only like 4 more wins.
Yeah.
Josh Allen makes it 36 at 2-0. John Wofford sitting on the bench. He's still hot, Zach, 1-0, undefeated. That makes it, 37, then or 38, 39, or is it 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 39. Yeah, Mariota 1-1, and Prescott 1-2. Trubisky 0-2, Stafford 0-3. Joe Burrow, Carr, and Hurts with no starts. Trubisky, interesting news, and saw on that. He had a winning record with Nagy, and the Bears fans are saying maybe we needed Trubisky back because he had a winning record, went to 2 playoffs with Trubisky there, and Nagy's not been good at all with anybody. There's a lot of weird things with that. The Houston situation, did y'all see that about their GM and what's been going on with him?
Montgomery's interviewing for the offensive coordinator job in Carolina.
I saw that.
I thought that was the running backs coach job.
He is a running backs coach for
the
OC.
coordinator?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw twice.
He's running backs
it.
coach
Like
for
he the one making
Indianapolis.
the OC.
Good for Scotty. I'm not sure he wants that job. Would you want to be the local offensive coordinator? Because everybody's going to hate you at some point anyway. You're going to be fired.
Yeah.
So no matter what, and you're going to be ruining a relationship.
I have somebody, an alumnus, however we say it, to be coaching in the NFL. So I hope that pans out. We'll see what happens.
All right, guys, it is time for bad picks.
Thank you.
It's time for our weekly fun. Once again, we are the only show that will show you our bad picks. All right, here we go. KTC Rocket. Zach, I need you to hit the computer button. How many people are I guess, Tom, you're picking – Tom, you said they got the most talent and they're favored. Are you picking the Bulldogs to win the national championship?
No, because I got money on Alabama.
There's a difference between picking them and having money on them.
Is there?
No.
Okay, well, I
You
picked
can think
them
Georgia's gonna win and bet on Alabama.
I picked them in the poll. I really don't. I wish I knew who's going to win this game. I have a hard time picking
Alabama.
I would say probably Alabama's going to find a way to win, but I'm not going to count Georgia out either.
Alabama.
Yeah, I was sitting here and I was going to pick Georgia, and then Tom said something that.
Here they are. I'm going to rewind that for just a second.
Lewis, where's Hunter Yetzi when you need him? Those are some bad picks.
Yep.
Congratulations to Hunter, though. Atlanta and Georgia both won.
Washington wins 22-7 over the Giants. Bad picks.
Eagles.
Those are some bad picks.
They're going to do whatever it takes to win this game. They are not going to lose to the Jaguars and let big criminal in.
Terry? Colts, Terry.
Yeah.
Zach? Colts all around.
This was
Jaguars win 60-11 over the Colts. Bad picks.
should have been fired.
Well, since everybody went with the Saints, I'm going with the Falcons.
There's your chance,
You'll
Zach.
probably
I'm going
win.
with the Falcons.
Zach
You'll
goes
probably
Falcons.
win.
Saints win 30-20 over the Falcons. Those are some bad picks.
Rams end their season.
Ooh.
To start the playoffs there, it added in the same conference and everything. New England's 6th in offense, but the reason I do say they will not win the Super Bowl for the radio folks at home, Yes, heard someone say they're underrated. Exactly, under or overrated this year.
I think they didn't start off well. I think they're playing well right now. So I'm going with right where they need to be.
I got the Titans. I don't got the Titans. Here's where they are. They're 20 with 21 total. Patriots faced the Rams in the Super Bowl. They won was it 13-9 or something like that? Or no, that was Rams and Titans. Bill won 16-3 or something like that. He held the Rams to 3 or 8 points. I can't remember exactly.
Did that loss last week cost the Patriots the division?
Yes, that was for the division.
So if they'd have beat Miami, they would have been tied with Buffalo. Would they have won the division?
Buffalo beat them last time they played.
I think Buffalo may have already.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure on that one, Tom. But let me go back to that Bills Rams real quick. I mean Patriots Rams. That's reversed on that one. Patriots Rams. It was 13-3 was the final score. I knew it was something like that. Held the Rams to 3 points. Super Bowl scores the last few years: 9 points. Kansas City only scored 20. San Francisco scored 3. Los Angeles scored. Of course, New England and Philadelphia got in that big scoring game, and Atlanta blew the 28-3 lead. Then Carolina lost with 10. Denver lost with 8. So it's about half and half. Teams get close to 20 or just get shut out altogether just in the Super Bowl. A lot of the teams. These defenses come through a lot. So Patriots and Bills. Buffalo favored by 4.5. Zach, did you say? Did Buffalo? Did they sweep? They split, didn't they?
I want to say they split. I know Buffalo won the last game.
Well, who are you picking then, Zach?
I am picking Buffalo. Not with conviction, but I'm picking Buffalo.
Tommy?
Yeah, you always have to. It's hard to bet against Bill Belichick. Look at that, 6-2 on the road,
and they're only one game. They're only one game different. You know.
I tell you what, I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. That's my upset. It's a prime time. Yep. It's at night. It's Belichick.
Now, here's my thing on the Patriots as far as the rookie quarterback. I'm not saying he can't make the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So if you pick him, it's not going against anything I'm saying. I'm saying he's not winning the Super Bowl. Tom, 14-10, the Patriots won over the Bills. Bills won 2 weeks later, 33-21. And again, so remember, these two teams are top 2 ranked defenses in the NFL, both averaging about 17 a game. If you take the two scores, they won. Bills averaged 7. New England averaged 17.5 in the 2 games. Buffalo averaged 22 in the 2 games against each other. So there's your kind of a breakdown on that. Tommy, who you got again?
I took the Patriots.
You took the Patriots. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to win this game. Like I said, I think it's only a matter of time before the Patriots lose. Might as well take them.
We know Terry picked Buffalo because he's got them in the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, Terry picked them because, like I said, since 1992. So Buffalo for me. Tom was New England. Zach then with Buffalo as well. Mm-hmm. All right, Eagles and Buccaneers on Sunday. Just for reference, Bucs beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys have smoked the Eagles twice this year. But Tom, you're all about matchups. Do the Eagles have a good chance in this matchup?
Well, they got blown out by Dallas last week, but they were playing a lot of their backups. And the Buccaneers find a way to win. They've had especially at wide receiver, man. Yep. They've had some injuries. But I think 7-1 at home. The Eagles are a good road team. But I think the Buccaneers will. It's hard to go against Tom Brady at home in a playoff game.
Yeah, Tom Brady, I don't think he loses in the first round of the playoffs. So Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay. We got to remember Terry picked them to Dallas to roll through Tampa and Green Bay on the road. Not even at home in Jerry World. This one, I'm going the Bucs to blow out the Eagles. The Eagles this year lost to the 49ers, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bucks, Raiders, Chargers. Lost to the Giants. Their wins, Jets, 2 Washingtons, beat the Giants, beat the Broncos, beat the Lions, beat the Panthers, beat the Falcons. The only teams they beat this year, none of the teams made the playoffs that they beat this year for the Eagles.
Nope. And everybody that beat them, except for 2 teams, were playoffs. and we're very close, though. So.
Tom, they're in the playoffs now. How do you like your chances?
Yeah, I like the Bucs.
Folks, Tampa by 20 maybe in this one. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. All right, 49ers at Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 3. I told Andre yesterday based on my research and statistics about eliminating the Packers, there's a chance the winner of this game will be playing Tampa in the NFC Championship game.
I'm going with
That's
the 49ers.
Chance, only chance.
I'm going with the 49ers to beat the Cowboys in the first round.
Yeah. I like Jimmy G. I think they get it done. I think they showed their mettle last week when they were down 17 and came back and won that game. I think that was at L.A. too, wasn't it? That was at SoFi.
San Francisco's 2-0 against the Rams this year.
I like the 49ers. I like it because it makes their quarterback decision even that much more difficult if Jimmy G wins this game.
Or multiple.
Yeah.
That's a tough position to be in for Garoppolo. In that, I don't know. Especially if he does win the game, he'll be 3-1 in the playoffs. Beat the Cowboys on the road. Of the two quarterbacks, he's the one with the most playoff experience, most wins. He's come back. He's beat the Rams twice. I was trying to pull it up. I've got these two teams' records. It won't take me long to get it, though. We'll go through Dallas against playoff records. Dallas, let's see. Against playoff teams, 0-1 against the Bucks, 1-0, 1-1 now against the Eagles. Patriots they beat, so 2-1. Lost to the Chiefs, 2-2. Lost to the Raiders, 2-3. Lost to the Cardinals, 2-4. So Dallas against playoff teams is 2-4. Looking at who are they playing? San Francisco,
49.
you said?
You said they beat the Rams
So
twice.
Dallas this year's 12-5, and they're 2-4 against playoff teams.
That's not good.
Well, Dad went down the hall and said something to Andre the other day about are they ready for the playoffs? And Andre's like, are y'all? You know there's playoff teams in the playoffs, don't you? So that was his response to this. So how about the 49ers against playoff teams? 1-0 against the Eagles, 1-1 Packers, 1-2 Cardinals, 1-3 Cardinals, 2-3 Rams.
How can they be 1-1 against the Packers?
Oh, that just tied a lot. They had a
Overall
loss. He was talking about playoff teams. Yeah.
3-3
Or playoff
Bengals, 3-4 Titans, 4-4 Rams. So
500.
San Francisco went 4-4 against playoff teams with a grand total record of 10-7.
Well, Terry says that that the Cowboys are 5-2 historically against the 49ers. So he's throwing in back games from 30 years ago, which Terry, the same players don't play anymore. I'm not sure if he's aware of the Great Wall of Dallas is not there anymore. So, yeah, he's cherry picking his facts.
5-2.
If the 49ers win, you need to play the Montana pass to the tight end.
Yeah, Dwight Clark.
Yes, back in the end zone for that.
Yeah,
That would be
trying
epic.
to find the actual on that for that dodo. But anyway,
that was one of the first games I can remember as a kid. I remember watching that game because the owner of the 49ers, DeBartolo, was from my hometown, Youngstown. So my mom didn't like the DeBartlos, so we were pulling for the Cowboys of all people, and then the 49ers won that game.
I mean, have they not played each other since '95 though in the playoffs? I mean,
Neither one. The Cowboys ain't been in the playoffs since '95. Twice, maybe.
That's funny.
Yeah,
All right,
twice.
Steelers and Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 12.5, almost 2 touchdowns. Now, like I said, one of these is supposed to be a blowout, probably maybe 2 with 6 games. It's kind of hard not to have multiple blowouts.
I say, Mahomes, do not let me down.
Yeah.
You've been begging for 3 weeks, Tom.
Yeah,
That Baltimore's third stringers let me down. Steelers beat the Baltimore third stringers with Big Ben throwing 2-yard passes. It seems like the Steelers always get a beneficial call here or there. I don't know why Goodell likes them. I mean, their coach is out there tripping people.
So if Aaron Rodgers is the discount double check, is he the discount double check down?
That's what he is. 3-yard pass. I can't stand to watch. I mean, it's boring football. It's not fun to watch. It's ugly. The Chiefs should win this one and handily. Yeah. Big Ben should already be retired, and hopefully this game does retire him, and we can quit talking about it. The only bad thing I hate is they keep talking about these Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh scenarios. That would be an absolute nightmare.
He ain't going to Pittsburgh.
I hope not. Yeah,
He's going to somewhere like Vegas.
I heard Denver too.
Vegas, Denver. He's going big city money. Is what his wife's from Denver, I believe, and I think they like to smoke the ganja, Tom.
that's fine with me as long as it doesn't go to the Steelers.
Well, the last time Dallas San Francisco did play in the playoffs was 1995. So there's your stat there.
Great one, Terry. 5-2. When's the last game? Last year, 95, when a certain KTC employee was a senior in college.
They've only played 5 times in the last 10 years total.
And a former KTC employee that's on a milk carton wasn't even born.
Now,
It wasn't even born. Yeah,
now
that's
I will
right.
say this for Terry: in the last 4, 5, 7 regular season matchups, Dallas is 6-1 against San Francisco. That's going back to 2005. It's every 2 or 3 years they play. I don't even know. Has Dak played San Francisco? He said he was 2-0 against San Francisco. Is that what it was?
Something
Whatever.
like that.
Anyway, so everybody going Chiefs on this
Yeah.
one? No upset for Steelers for Tom?
No.
All right, Rams hosting the Cardinals. Rams
the two
favored
teams-
by 4.
The two teams that you cannot never say the Rams will show up and play well. The Cardinals will show up and play well.
So let's go
They
through who
exist.
the Cardinals beat. So playoff teams Cardinals beat. So Titans 1-0, Rams 2-0, 49ers 3-0, Packers 3-1, 49ers 4-1, Rams 4-2, Cowboys 5-2.
Cardinals.
So Cardinals 5-2 against playoff teams this year. Against the Rams in particular, though, they split. They won 37-20 earlier in the season and lost 30-23 late in the season. So a grand total of 60 versus 50 in the 2 games. The Cardinals did outscore the Rams. So Rams favored by 4. Zachary?
Going with the home team.
Home team
Rams.
for Zach. Any particular reason besides just the home team?
No, I don't trust either quarterback. I'll tell you that.
All right, Rams against playoff teams. They beat the Bucs, so 1-0. Lost to the Cardinals, 1-1. Lost to the Titans. Lost to the 49ers. Lost to the Packers. There's 1-4. Beat the Cardinals, 2-4. And lost to the Rams, 2-5. So the Rams are 2-5.
But they beat the Rams.
And the
That's
Cardinals
the only
are
two.
5-2. And they split. Cardinals 5-2 against playoff teams. Rams 2-5 against playoff teams. I'm going Cardinals in this game. Listen, Matthew Stafford's 0-3. Odell Beckham's on this team. There's way too many red flags for this Rams. The coach is young. He thinks he's hot shot. I don't know. There's a lot of things here. I don't think either one of these teams win the Super Bowl. So this is one of those ones where I think that, there's going to get a lot of hype of who wins. They might win next week, and then they go to Tampa and get smoked. So, Tommy, Cardinals and Rams for you.
Well, the last time the Cardinals went on the road against a playoff team, it was Dallas, and they handled them. I'm going to watch the Rams. Like I say, I can't tell which Los Angeles team's going to show up. Like Kevin says, both these teams have kind of young hotshot coaches. McVay especially, though, with his gelled up hair and all that stuff. This is really hard. J.J. Watt returned to practice 6 weeks earlier than the earliest he was supposed to come back
Yikes.
from a shoulder surgery.
So you're saying he might get 3 plays
I
before he's hurt again.
mean, he's a tough kid from Wisconsin, so I mean, he's just he's wanting to get out. I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be, or if he's even going to play. He wants to play. I don't know. This is tough. I'm going with the Cardinals because I don't trust either one of these teams, but I trust the Rams less. I trust Matt Stafford less because you just never know what you're going to get. I mean, he's like the mystery bag. One time I went to a bar when I was like 25 years old and had this thing called mystery beer. It came in a brown paper bag. It's kind of like what Matt Stafford is. What are you going to get? What are you going to get? The good stuff, or you have no idea what you're going to get? So,
and
that's kinda what I feel
in a
about
fair
it.
assessment, has he been in the playoffs other than one time?
0-3.
he's
He had. Oh, got it. I
Got it.
should have looked at. Yeah, okay. But that was all one season. I mean,
No,
No,
three.
no,
Can't
no,
lose
three.
three.
Oh, three.
Can't lose three.
Yeah, that was
Can't
dumb.
lose 3 playoff games.
I don't remember the Lions being in the.
If anybody
in the
could, it would
playoffs.
be the Lions.
I don't remember
lose
the
three.
Lions being in the playoffs 3 times.
It's not been too long ago. Yeah, in the late 2000s, they were. They had some good teams.
Oh, with Megatron.
Yeah, they had some good teams.
With
But
Megatron.
I don't know. It's like I'm not going to deny Matt Stanford's talent. He's one of those guys. Maybe this is a bad comparison, but he's kind of like Jeff George. Ton of talent. Can throw it, throw it through a brick wall, but you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's exciting to watch, fun to watch, but you just never know what's going to happen. So that's why that's my other upset, Kevin. The Cardinals. I know I went with the 49ers. Well, I've actually gone with 3 upsets. Have we picked the 49ers, right?
Yes.
So I picked the 49ers, I picked the Cardinals, and I picked the Patriots. So I did pick some upsets.
I know the Bills are favored. I don't know how much of an upset that would, it is an upset. I'm just saying I don't know.
It would be a
paper. It's
mild upset.
Close.
Mild upset.
All right. Let's see. That's the Monday night game. So that sets up next week. So let's go through these real quick. So if that's the case, let me pull up my NFL standings. JP's making an appearance there for us.
That's creepy.
Just JP, pull it up all over, just so it's just your head. See if you can make it. So JP's is joining. We got some new video equipment, some new other things we're playing around. So we're gonna have some stuff. JP's playing with the green screen.
So at least now I understand how they did the Aaron Donald commercial.
The green screen right now,
where he's invisible and then his head appears. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, there's JP playing around the green screen a little. We're gonna put him in a Star Wars scene in a minute. Maybe have him fight somebody. I don't know. We'll do something with him here in just a moment. My kids have been having some good fun with that, Tom, as you can imagine.
Oh gosh.
You saw them doing in the highlights a few minutes ago. So they like me playing like scenes from their movies where they got songs, so they like to dance to them. I got them dancing to the Peanuts song. Linus is playing their song there, and they're all dancing in the hall. I've got them dancing with the Peanuts kids. It looks like they're almost in the cartoon. It's pretty cool. Mom liked that one quite a bit. All right, so let's do the rest of the playoff picks for you guys. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got there. So next week we'd have Tennessee 1 hosting Cincinnati 4 for everyone in the book. So we'll go ahead and go through that. Tom, Cincinnati at Tennessee. Who would you have?
Cincinnati at Tennessee. I like Tennessee in that game.
So Tom with the Titans to win. Zachary, now remember in this round, 3 out of the 4 home teams usually do win and advance. So Zach, Tennessee and Cincinnati.
I'm going with Tennessee with the Beast coming back.
I will too. Then the next game, we're going to have a slightly different. Kansas City's going to be hosting either one of this. So Tom, we'll start with you. You've got New England going to Kansas City in round 2. Who would you have in that victory?
I like the Chiefs in that game. 2 good coaches, though. See, 2 good coaches,
So
2 experienced coaches. But
Kansas City in the AFC Championship for Tom. Tom, I'll go ahead and let you finish that out then. Who you got in the Super Bowl from there? Kansas City at Tennessee in the AFC Championship game.
Going out on a limb here, I like Tennessee. I like their run game.
So Tom's got
Kansas
Tennessee.
City, can't trust them on the road. Look what happened at Cincinnati.
All right, Zachary, let's back into you. Got Buffalo instead of New England. Do they upset the Chiefs, or you got the Chiefs advancing as well?
I'm going to get Buffalo upsetting the Chiefs.
Ooh, so Zach goes Buffalo. So Zach is in the Terry Reinhart camp. I don't know how you feel about that.
1-3 on their rankings. I mean, 1-3.
Tennessee then would be hosting the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to say Tennessee.
Go Tennessee on that.
Number
one.
1 seed in the playoffs with their top running back. I'm going with Tennessee.
All right. So Zach's got Tennessee in the Super Bowl as well as Tom. I'll pick out Buffalo and Kansas City. I got Kansas City. Tennessee and Kansas City. I got Kansas City.
So he's got Kansas City making their 3rd straight Super Bowl.
Yes, I do. Let's go with then over in the NFC. So the standings over here, the Packers had their had the 1 seed. You guys, did anybody pick? Me and Zach picked San Francisco. Tom picked Dallas. So that's going to change things.
No,
so,
I didn't.
No, he picked San Francisco.
We all picked San Francisco.
Yeah.
Terry picked that. Okay, Rams and Cardinals. That's where we differed. So let's go with the San Francisco then. So it'd be San Francisco at Green Bay in round 2. So Tom, San Francisco into Green Bay.
Green Bay at home, rested. I like them in that game.
Yeah, I'm going with Green Bay at home too.
Even though their defense is a little
Zach
shaky.
and Tom go both Packers. Is this where we all give up on Garoppolo?
I don't give up on Garoppolo. I just think it's hard to go into Green Bay.
Well, when Dez catches it and they say he didn't, things happen. Careers are ruined after that. It's been 6 years later, Tom, and Dak Prescott still got one playoff win. So that's all I need to say about that one. Green Bay, awesome. I'll take them to win this one. All right, with the bye, they should. All right, so that would mean for you guys, let's see. Zach had Rams winning. I had Arizona. Tom, I didn't write down who you had on that one. Did you have Rams?
No, I won that.
You went Arizona too? Okay. So Zach, Rams then in Tampa.
Oh, that's Tom Brady.
So you're going Tampa? Tommy, Arizona in Green Bay. Arizona in Tampa.
Tampa's going to win that.
So we all got Tampa and Green Bay. So, again, after all these years, all these talking, all this week to week, this guy's the next this guy's the next that, this guy's this, we come back to it, and we've all got the old guys, pocket quarterbacks, sitting here.
1-3.
Going to the championship in the NFC championship games. Super Bowl, I've got Kansas City. Y'all have got Ryan Tannehill. Green Bay and Tampa? Who you got, Zachary?
Oh, Rodgers against Brady.
Well, the history has shown which guy
it's
wins.
Going through
every
Green
time.
Bay. It does. It's going through Green. It's going through Green Bay. Brady and them has some problems on the offense. I'm going to go Green Bay.
Green Bay's got some issues on defense.
So, what you going to pick, Tom?
In this game, I've got Green Bay and Tampa.
Yes.
I got at Green
Bay. That was the kicker for me.
I'm going Green Bay. At home, they should win.
Tom's going to feel like he's back in New England with the cold,
right.
but he might be adapted to the warm now.
I can't figure out how I got JP.
He's from California, but he played at Michigan. So he's been in it all.
So you went who, Tom?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. So Tom's got Green Bay in Tennessee. Zach's got Tampa in Tennessee.
No, I picked Green Bay.
Oh, y'all both picked Green Bay in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the repeat of Tampa and Kansas City. I don't like picking repeats. It almost never happens. But
at least you didn't go off the wall and pick something from the 90s.
Yeah.
Well,
back in the 90s, San Francisco was 0-2 against Dallas.
Buffalo played Dallas and got beat twice in a row.
If you ever want stats that really don't matter, just check Terry Reinhardt.
Here, JP, I'm going to hook you up. While sitting over there, I'm going to put JP over here in Terry's seat. There you go, JP.
And Terry did correct on the date. 1994 is the last time they played, which makes his point even stupider.
And I believe that. And I believe Dion was in a 49ers suit for that.
Dion's doing Aflac commercials now, dude. He's not playing.
That's also made it.
Yep.
Tom, he can sit there and try to correct you all you want. I've got the internet in front of me.
He said
January 15th, 1995.
It was the 94 season.
Yeah, it was.
Is what he's saying. Yeah.
January 15th, 1995. San Francisco, 38-28 over Dallas, the Deion Sanders Bowl.
Yep.
That was the last time they played.
Man, which one? He was playing for San Francisco.
He
then,
was.
wasn't he? Yeah.
And then he comes to Cowboys next year, and they win the Super Bowl.
And they didn't even need him in the playoffs because they didn't play him ever again. They got him so they couldn't beat him. They got him to cover Jerry Rice, and he never had to cover him again in the playoffs. But JP's hanging out in Terry's spot now. I got to switch that over. Well, for JP. All right, let's finish up the show, JP. I'm gonna let you. What's that? I can float him around and stuff. Make him a ghost. Ooh, people at home are like, "What is going on?"
You're having
here?
way too much fun.
I am. It's Saturday. Happy Saturday. All right, let's talk a little bit of NBA action here to get ended up. JP, go get us a break. We come back. We'll finish up the NBA. We'll talk a little bit about that and more coming up on KTC Broadcasting.
Brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air.
There you go. Good save, Tom.
Yeah.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. Two good companies have now become one great company. Hopper Heating and Air in Shelby and Shelby Heating and Air have combined their businesses to become Shelby Heating and Air. David Hopper invites you to call on them for all of your heating and air conditioning needs with name brands like Carrier and Goodman, plus complete service and repair. Shelby Heating and Air and Hopper Heating and Air. Now one. Give them a call at 704-487-7877 today.
Check out the New Year deals at Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall, Gastonia. All remaining Christmas artwork is half price. Decorative pillows are 2 for $10. Bar stools as low as $45. Kurt's Premium Outlet has 5-piece table set by Brody for $325. Fireplaces as low as $99. And IFD countertop islands are $9.99. At Kurt's Premium Outlet, East Ridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
Chances are good that the taxman is coming to your house, and hopefully he'll be bringing you a big sack of well-deserved money. Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia want you to know that they have special tax time saving deals with over 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Make your tax dollars count and save big during the tax time sales event going on now at Classic Volkswagen. 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. The biggest, baddest cars and trucks are waiting for you at Iconic Motors of Shelby. Come see for yourself, like a 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT, 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8 SRT, or a 2022 Ram 3500 Laramie 4-door crew cab with only 146 miles. That's right, only 146 miles. At Iconic Motor Company of Shelby, 325 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. When you have a pain, you see Pro Wellness Chiropractic in Lincoln, right? Right. Well, Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic in Lincoln, they're having pains. Growing pains, that is, and they have a cure. Coming soon, the all-new location of Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic at 644 Clark Drive in Lincoln in the Town and Country Shopping Center. You'll get the same great friendly service by the same friendly people. Just look for it soon, the opening of the new Pro Wellness Family Chiropractic. Opening soon at 644 Clark Drive in Lincoln. Join Milton Baker for the West End Sale Swap Shop, Monday through Friday on Carolina Country, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
And we're back with Kevin and the gang. We're ending the show with NBA, was it?
Yeah, I just want to remind our listeners that Shelby Heating and Air is bringing you Saturday morning sports talk. There's their phone number, 704-487-7877. Call them for maintenance. Call them for installation. They'll take care of all your heating and air needs for you. So give them a call. Once again, 704-487-7877. Thank you, Shelby Heating and Air, for making Saturday sports talk possible.
All right, Tom, Eastern Conference standings for the folks there
Crowded.
at home.
Crowded.
The only thing unexpected there is Boston and Atlanta and maybe even Indiana are a little further down. New York, I thought they would all be a little bit higher. Cleveland, obviously, and Charlotte and Washington, and then Toronto even. Those four teams are playing better than the four below them that everybody probably thought would be switched. Now, again, the top five, I think, is chalk is what we could have all predicted before the season started. So I kind of let you say where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's competitive. There's a lot of competitive games there. I think that, depends on what night it is with the Philadelphia 76ers or even the Cavs. The Cavs can lose 4 in a row. I've watched the Cavs build 30-point leads and blow them a couple times against the Pelicans, against the Hawks. But then they've won 3 in a row out west. So I really think, Kevin, it's just going to be tough. I mean, it's a lot more parity in the NBA than it usually is. But the Bulls, I mean, this year, just kind of, I would have thought it would be the Nets on top with the Kyrie Irving mess. You know, I know that's hurt them a little bit, but yeah, the Heat with Jimmy Butler doesn't surprise me. They've played well of late. Look at that 8. Like I said, it's going to be fun. Terry's Boston Celtics out of the playoffs as we speak right now. How about that?
Imagine that with Kimba.
I was going to ask him about that.
Kimba's not with them no more. He went to the Knicks. Sorry,
the Knicks. He's torpedoed them.
Yeah.
They're down in the 10s. Kimba will forever be a 10 seed, Tom.
I just don't understand the Hawks. When I watch them, Capella and Young, I know it's hard to keep up with everything, but
so the Hawks,
the Hawks are. It just kind of surprised me how far down they are.
All right, so again, the Hawks, and I'm gonna. All right, here's my theory, and this is what we'll do in basketball today because we're out of time. And I had this as one game, and I don't think he's ever played again. When Gordon Hayward leads the team in scoring, Tom, they're 2-4.
Really?
When Gordon Hayward leads the team in scoring, they're 2-4. And when Tom's son-in-law's hero leads the team in scoring, they are 3-6. The team is 3-6 when LaMelo leads the team in scoring. One of two things. One, it is a LaMelo thing. Two, it's a point guard thing as well. When your point guard leads the team in scoring, you have issues. I just playing. I like scoring. I love, and we have 5 players averaging 16 points a game, and they're all wing players. This is why we're leading the league in scoring. That right there, 100% is why we're leading. Now, here's another cool stat on that, though. The Charlotte Hornets are the only team in the NBA like that. Total players on the team, we're the only team in the NBA with 5 players averaging 15 more points. There's 3 teams with 4 players averaging that, but get this. We're the only team with 5 players averaging 16 points a game, Zach. We're a whole point and a half ahead of the next best, who has 4 at 14. So the Hornets have 5 players averaging 16 points a game, can't guard a lick, but they can score with anybody. Hayward, Aubrey, and if Washington Martin get lucky and out there, they help out as well. So the wing scoring has been helpful with them, having the point guard leading the scoring and having no center and inside presence at all crushes them. Your analysis on that?
I think if you would have told me that the Hornets were going to lead the league in scoring, I would have took it hands down. You know, at the beginning of the year, I know we can't stop anybody, but we're 23-20. That's above 500, and you look at our last 10, 7-3.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I think this team's young, and if they if they can keep them together, get a little bit of age, they could, in the next coming years, go up to 4 and 5.
All right, here's my tweets of the day before we get out of here. The only NBA players in history to never average less than 20 points in their career. 6 of the 8 are current, which makes sense, right? You understand what I mean?
Anybody under 20, what was
only NBA players to never average less than 20 points in a season in their career. 8 people's done it. 6 are active. LeBron, Durant, Embiid, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, and Zion Williamson are your active players that's never averaged less than 20 in a season. The only 2 players that did it before that in NBA history, Bob Pettit and Michael Jordan. Bobo was traded and canceled.
Yeah.
Failed the physical. They won't tell why. There is a foreign player that failed the physical, Tom, and Detroit State in the last 10 years. Tom, Ohio State is number 1 in Ohio, Western Kentucky in Kentucky, Georgia, Clemson, Florida. If I'd have told you this in the 90s, that University of Central Florida would have a 10-year span of the most wins in the state, what would you have told me? What would y'all have told me? Appalachian, of course, is the number 1 winning team in North Carolina, and the number 1 winning team in the state of California in the last 10 years, San Diego State.
You're going to say San Diego State. Yeah.
None of the big boys. Nothing. None of those folks at all. A couple more here before we go. On Western Kentucky to beat Appalachian State. The biggest bet in the college football season was on Western Kentucky beating App. And now all 4 of us sitting here and said App's going to smoke them. Yep. So what happened? Western Kentucky beat them handily, and this guy won the biggest bet in the college football season.
Somebody knew something.
Biggest bet in the college football season was won on that game, and not a single person in this room had any idea or clue that would happen. So there's my tweets of the week. All right, JP. Oh, I got one more. Can you guys name the NFL player in history to have the most catches and yards in his first 2 seasons? 2 guesses. Go.
Cooper Kupp.
Nope.
Jerry Rice.
Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. The most catches and yards in NFL history. We'll be back next week on
the incredible man. I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat. Showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me. Cause that's who I am.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. 2 good companies